President Obama and Governor Romney both promising a lot of bipartisanship if they win on Tuesday, but with dozens of congressional moderates from both parties headed for the exits thanks to retirements and some expected losses. Don't be surprised if the 113th Congress is actually even more ideologically polarized than this one was. Texas Republican Congressman Pete Sessions. Here's the National Republican Congressional Committee, and he joins me now. And Chairman Sessions, I need to give you some potential kudos off the top, because you were a lone voice who predicted that Republicans could actually gain seats in 2012. And let me read you the Charlie Cook and Stu Rothenberg projections. They believe that the range on House is +5 GOP to +10 Dem from Charlie Cook. Their best case, they think it's going to be somewhere between either no net change or Democrats with a small gain. And Rothenberg has it at a +2 Republican and +8 Democrat. So it is within the realm of the possible. Let me ask you this. How did that happen?
Well, the realm of the possible has happened exactly because House Republicans have not only aimed for and listened to the American people on the job and job creation problem, but we have, I think, effectively sold that we will deal with the issues exactly as the President has given to this. There were $700 billion cut out of Medicare. We had to go fix that. We fixed that with a plan. We have a job creation bill. It's not just the 20,000 Keystone Pipeline jobs. It's millions more that need to be created across this country. We've talked about doing the things which will grow our economy, add jobs, make sure that gasoline prices don't increase, because they should not the way that they have, and we will do things listening to the American people and working together.
And what's the message on election night if voters of this country re-elect a Republican House and a Democratic President and a Democratic Senate? That is not a crazy scenario. That is right now, if you believe all the public polling, a fairly reasonable scenario. What's the message the voters are sending?
Well, I think what really will happen, you remember back in Wisconsin earlier in the year when we were told, hey, get ready, we'll stay up all night for this, waiting for the answer from the Wisconsin voter. And it happened I've been in 47 congressional districts this last month, and in all 47 of the congressional districts that I went to, the momentum, I believe, is on the side of Republicans. Republicans, based upon the American people wanting to do something about this jobs and job creation, about prices at the grocery store, about prices at the pump.
But the fact is, you don't. What do you say to this potential split decision? What are voters saying? Why is it that they want to potentially do both?
Well, I think there won't be a split decision. I think the decision will be made that Mitt Romney is that person, and that's the point. I don't think you can go and elect a whole bunch of new Republicans. Maybe it's 5 or 7. Maybe it's just re-electing the great net 63 that we got last time. But it will be a resounding victory for House Republicans because we have a plan, and we will work with Mitt Romney, and the American people know that.
Let me ask you this. Let's just dig into the weeds. Give me an example of a Republican that if they win, you're thinking, wow, Republicans are going to gain seats. They're not just going to hold on to the majority and only lose a few seats. They'll gain seats. Give me an example of 1 or 2 races that may be a little bit of a reach to people, but will tell you something on election night.
Well, we have several, as you know, Chuck, in the Northeast. One is Brendan Doherty, who's running in Rhode Island. Today, it's probably an even seat in terms of where Brandon sits versus David Cicilline. But it's a vastly different viewpoint. It is a huge Democrat seat, and I think that Brendan Doherty can win that. Go to outside St. Louis, east into Illinois, and we have Jason Plummer. Jason Plummer is running in a seat that has not had a Republican in years.
The old Jerry Costello seat, right?
It sure is. 2 key seats that will tell on where we are as a party, our messaging, and how we're going to do throughout the night.
And let me ask you about a couple of seats that, if New Hampshire, you're not holding on to those seats, is that an indication of this night's not going as well as you thought? Is that staying in the Northeast?
It's hard to say. That would be an indication to me that then Mitt Romney would not be doing as well. Those are both very competitive, very tight places. It's directly out of the Boston market, so they get a lot of Massachusetts TV, and Met is not doing well in Massachusetts. But I would say that I expect that Charlie Bass and Frank Guinta will win those seats, but we know they're very close. I think it's when you go into other traditional areas or non-traditional areas that are further south into coal country, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, that will be the tell of the tale.
All right. Pete Sessions, the chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee here in Orlando, I think, campaigning for folks there. A lot of new seats being contested in the state of Florida. So it's going to be one of those. There can be lots of swings there. Anyway, Chairman Sessions, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Chad.
So how does Wall Street react to those new jobs numbers? The market